Good day and welcome back. Thanks for joining us again today. And this video, this is the fourth in a series of videos we're doing for the 2022 Toronto International Boat Show, and I believe it's the third in the series that we're doing in our discussion and review of the collision regulations, or ColRegs. The previous video we talked about sailboats versus sailboats and how they are to be conducted and maneuvered when within sight of each other. In this video, we're going to look at sailboat versus power and then power versus power. Okay, so quick review. When we talk about a power vessel, we're talking about a vessel that's being propelled by machinery. All right, so, and that could be recreational or commercial craft. When we're talking about sailboats, we're talking sailboats under sail that are not being propelled by their auxiliary engine. And if they start or engage that engine, even with the sails up, they then become power vessels and have to abide by the rules that pertain to power vessels. So we need to make that clear before we get into our discussion. All right, and in a broad sense, and for the most part, power gives way to sailboats under sail. However, there are some exceptions for sailboats. Sailboats are to give way to vessels that are not under command. And I don't think we talked about that definition yet, but these are vessels that, for whatever reason, are not being actively operated but are still underway. Sailboats give way to powerboats that are restricted in their ability to maneuver. So specialized commercial vessels that, by the virtue of their make and the type of job that they're engaged in, have limited ability to maneuver. So sailboats are to give way to vessels that are restricted in their ability to maneuver. Fishing vessels, commercial fishing vessels, especially that, say, are trawling or other forms of fishing where it severely restricts the fishing vessel's ability to maneuver, the sailboat will give way. Now, this does not apply to small fishing vessels that just have trolling lines out. That, in that respect, they are power vessels and have to give way to sail vessels. But larger fishing vessels that are fishing in such a manner that they are severely restricted in their ability to turn, stop, maneuver out of the way, sailboats would give way. And then the last situation where a sailboat might give way to a powerboat is if that sailboat were overtaking the powerboat. Again, we talked about the overtaking situation where the boat overtaking becomes the giveaway vessel. The boat being overtaken is the stand-on vessel. Okay, so now we're going to talk about power versus power. And there's pretty much three scenarios we're going to discuss. And again, going high tech here, I'm bringing out the trusty dry erase board. So the three situations that we're going to discuss in terms of power versus power are boats that are meeting head-on, boats that are crossing paths, and again, review and reinforcement of the overtaking situation. All right, and when we talk about head-on, we're talking about two boats that are approaching each other on reciprocal or near reciprocal courses. Okay, so here we are. There's our powerboat there, our powerboat there, and they're approaching each other on in this case, a reciprocal heading, and they're in a head-on situation. And under the rules, they state that boats meeting in a head-on situation will alter course to starboard. Each boat will alter course to starboard and will pass port side to port side. Okay, so that's the head-on situation. Each alter course to starboard, passing port to port, when it's most practical. There are maybe those certain situations where passing or one boat turning to starboard could be problematic. In that case, then the rules do allow you to alter course to port and pass starboard to starboard. But for the most part, this is how powerboats that are coming head-on or in a reciprocal course pass each other. All right. Slight variation of this if you're in a kind of a smaller navigable channel. So think the St. Lawrence River, for example, on the Great Lakes, or some other rivers like the Trans-Severn Waterway. In that situation, and as part of the inland rules for the Great Lakes and inland waters, the vessel that is downbound or outbound with current has right-of-way over a vessel that is inbound going against the current. So for example, here we have the Murray Canal near where we sail our boat. And when you're transiting the canal from west to east, the eastbound vessel has right of way because it's considered the downbound direction and be going with current if there was current flowing. All right, so head-on vessels alter course to starboard, port to port, and downbound with current have right of way over upbound against the current. All right. All right, next situation we're going to talk about is that where vessels are crossing. Oh, pardon the noise there, my apologies. So we have a situation where two power boats are in a crossing situation, and depending on the bearing or the distance between the two, they may or may not get into a situation where potential for intersection of courses or collision exists. In a crossing situation, the rules state that the vessel that has the other on her starboard side is the giveaway vessel. The vessel that is to starboard of the other vessel is the stand-on giveaway. So again, the rule is the vessel that has the other to her starboard side becomes the giveaway vessel, and the other one is the stand-on vessel. And the most readily accepted maneuver to give way to the vessel that is stand-on is to alter course, especially under power, you have greater maneuverability, is to alter course and cross the vessel or pass that vessel behind her or astern of her. All right. Again, I think we talked in one of the videos that you avoid at all instances the potential to cross ahead of another vessel and so impede them depending on their speed, your speed, and congestion and the like. All right, so that is two vessels crossing each other, and again, last but not least, overtaking situation, one power boat being overtaken by another. Again, the accepted definition, as we talked about, is approaching that vessel within that arc 22.5 degrees abaft the beam, and that vessel then will need to alter course in such a way, especially if they're moving faster than the vessel being overtaken, to pass them safely. And the rules do not state specifically that it has to be starboard side or port side. Again, depending on the circumstances, congestion, the location, you may pass on the port side, but again, overtaking vessel gives way to the vessel being overtaken. Okay. So that's essentially a wrap-up of the rules regarding how vessels are to be maneuvered and interact within sight of each other. Okay, just a quick review of key points we've talked about. If you are the giveaway vessel, you are obliged and obligated to take early and substantive action to avoid the collision or the risk of collision. If you're the stand-on vessel, for the most part, you hold your course and speed. However, the rules do not relieve you of your obligation to take action should the other vessel that you deem to be the giveaway vessel is not taking the action that you feel they should to avoid a potentially dangerous situation. Okay, so that's the end of this video, and the last one that we're going to post on the last day of the boat show tomorrow is a video that just is a review of lights and sound signals to be used by boats in certain situations and specific times. Okay, thanks again for joining us. I hope you found it again entertaining and informative. Please join us again for the last of the videos in the series. So you guys have yourself a good day. Take care. Oh, don't forget to like us. Bye now.